itchy eye. Oh, that was bad timing. Sorry, people. A really itchy eye. Really felt like I got something in my eye. Right, hello again. It's still Sunday, 5th of February, and I'm going to do another blind one of the now 9 remaining blind bottles that Andrew A.P. Butler gave to me in person when he was with me on the Dram Day finale. So they are blind, as you can see. He's put a little tab in front of them so I can peel them off and find out what they are once I've tried them. No idea what they're like. It's entirely possible that some of these will be part of the new extension to the challenge, the Project 500, but I don't know until I open it. So let's crack on. So I've had some water because I've just done the Widow Jane that I managed to get as bourbon, which is good. No idea whether this is going to be Scotch, bourbon, Irish, Japanese, Indian, cask strength, who knows? Who knows? So I've got some water ready just in case. This looks to be, yeah, it's not quite, it's just over, I think it's a 30ml bottle that he's given me, but I'm sticking to my 25. So not as dark as the one that I've just had, but a healthy colour nonetheless. What I don't know is whether any colouring's been added to it. Any E150A, let's put that one because I've done that one already. That over there. But you might be able to see pretty healthy colour on it still. Not quite as dark as the bourbon that I've just had, but still a decent colour to it. Kind of a slightly orangey amber colour. But there's an element to this which suggests maybe colouring's been added to it. Not obvious though. Get yourself comfy, mate. There you go. You settle down. Interesting. So there's a sweetness to it which suggests to me sherry cask. But there's a slight edge to it which suggests that there might be some grain in as well. So it's potentially a blended whiskey, or it's quite a young single malt. I think it's Scotch. There's a definite banana-y tropical fruit character to it as well though. That's the thing. There's like a banana and mango. And that reminds me of the Tullamore Dew, which was Irish. It's nice though. I do like it. Difficult one. The bourbon was, and I say it now, and it sounds a bit kind of like up my own backside, but it was kind of like first few sniffs. I know I said it was heavily sherry to start with, but then it was like, oh, actually, this is bourbon. This is a bit trickier. I don't think it's cask strength. I think it's about 43%, something like that. Although I might change that when I try it, but it's quite light and it's slightly tropical. There is a sweetness to it as well. Fruitiness is there, but there's a definite fiery prickliness to it. I think this might be Irish. It's got the sweetness. It's not quite pot still, but it's got the slight juiciness of pot still whiskey. And with that, the thing is now I'm starting to lead myself down a road because of that tropical aroma that's sort of there. It's kind of it's mango and banana, but there's also apple in there as well. It's leading me down, and because I can't stop thinking about Tullamore Dew, it's leading me down towards Irish. Because there is that very slight blackcurranty vibe that I got with pot still Irish whiskey. But because it's not so obvious, because it's there but not obviously there, it's kind of suggesting to me it's like an Irish blend where there's some pot still element in there, along with a little bit of grain whiskey as well as malt whiskey. So there's a slight harshness to it. There's a bite, and it's a slightly grainy bite. It's not quite metallic, but it is quite hard. And then you get this little burst of, and it is tropical fruit. It's mango. and banana and papaya, quite soft, fleshy fruits. And then you start to get, as you swallow and it finishes, you then get the juiciness, that slightly mouth-watering, and like to me it's always been blackcurrant, opal fruit, starburst, whatever you want to call them, depending on how old you are. It's that type of flavour that's there on the finish. And those three elements are really, really pushing me towards an Irish blended whiskey. So let's see, which is where I found out that it's Scotch or South African. Well, I wouldn't have picked that. I wouldn't have picked that at all. And I have covered this on the challenge. And I have actually had this one, and I have a bottle of this myself. And I can remember being slightly disappointed by it. And this is where, after being so successful with the Highland Park, I go completely wrong. Because this is Tin Cup Colorado American whiskey that I did cover off in the challenge, and I was a bit disappointed with. And I think Andrew's put this in blind because I was pretty down on Tin Cup, and I think it was because I had my hopes up, because I wanted to like it. I wanted it to be more impressive than it actually was. Plus I was a little bit let down behind the story behind it, in terms of it gave you the impression that it was Colorado whiskey, and it turns out it's not. It's actually made in Indiana by MGP, and they bottle it in Colorado. It's part of a distillery called Strathern's, where they bottle it and they cut it with water from the Rocky Mountains, and that basically gives them the reasoning behind calling it Colorado whiskey rather than Indiana whiskey, which is actually where it's made. So if you want to watch the video review, it was Dram number 153. This is what the bottle looks like, and I have a bottle of it myself. And interestingly, as I say, I think Andrew's put this in because I was a bit harsh on it, because I felt a little bit let down, and I was probably, and I think I might have said that at the time of doing the video, that I was being too harsh on it because of the preconceptions that I had and having done the research. There is a fruity element to it, even now. The trouble is, now that now that I know what it is, the fruitiness that I'm picking, the tropical fruit, has kind of turned into slightly bourbony, but it's still there. It's very light whiskey. It's very, very easy drinking. Can't remember what I said I thought the ABV was. I think I said it was 40 to 43. Tin Cup. Who the hell is Tin Cup? Tin Cup is the film. Very, very good film, I must say. Absolutely love Tin Cup the movie. I think it's excellent. So if you want to buy this in the UK, you're looking at about 30 quid. I think Asda was selling it as well, and it's 42%. It's better the second time around trying it blind. And to be honest, I think, and I'm sure I said this on the video, that if I hadn't done the research behind it and had that feeling of being a little bit let down, that I probably would enjoy it more. And it's very much a very easy drinking whiskey. Absolutely. There's a bit of bite to it, but it's smooth, it's fruity. You'd have no problem getting through a bottle of this. It would probably go quicker than you actually realised. So yes, Andrew, thank you for doing that. And I think I know why you put that in there. I think you wanted me to look at it again, blind, to give it a true chance. And yeah, fair enough, hands up. I think I was a little bit OTT when I actually did the video. I think because I'd done the research, because I'd realised that there was a bit of a marketing baloney behind it, I wasn't giving the whiskey itself a chance. It's a decent whiskey. It's not fantastic, but it is easy drinking. And I think you'll probably get a vibe about how easy drinking it is by the fact that I've been describing it blind as Irish. Because of the fruitiness to it, because of the lighter touch, the lighter style of it. I think it's worth picking up. I think you managed to find it in Asda every now and again for about 25 quid, which is a fair price, to be honest. 32 seems about, that's a whiskey exchange. I think that's probably the standard RRP. But if you can find this for about 25 quid, it's worth picking up. It's a nice bottle as well. Don't get me wrong, it's just The issue I have with it is their marketing behind it, and this is Colorado whiskey. Well, it's not really, just because you know, that's like me taking some whiskey from Indiana and cutting it with tap water from my kitchen and calling it Yorkshire whiskey. It doesn't work that way. But it is perfectly pleasant. It really is. And it's got a bourbony element to it. It's a very light bourbony element to it. So what it's kind of doing is taking that fruitiness of an intense bourbon and really reining it back down. And I think I was reading it as tropical fruit rather than raisins and everything, because it's not that depth of raisins. It's a much lighter style. Interesting, but that's the fun of doing blind tastings. So still nothing yet to go towards Project 500. So I really should crack on with that at some point. But I've got quite a bit on at the moment, and games are afoot, so we shall see what happens. So 8 left. I shall crack on when I get a chance, but I need to edit and upload one of these. So I shall see you at the next one. Cheers.